Throughout Gorilla Tag, there has been some of the most loved and most hated um, updates in all of Gorilla Tag. So, first, let's start with probably the most praised by the whole freaking community, I guess. Halloween 2022 is arguably the most popular, praised for its spooky atmosphere, introduction of Lucy, new cosmetics, and more. Fans loved it, but you know what fans didn't love? The Pride update. Me personally didn't have too much of a problem with the Pride update. I mean, really, Gorilla Tag can help its community out the way it wants. This was just, them having the Pride update. Most people didn't like this either because they were homophobic or they didn't like the fact that they were adding Pride to a kids game. Well, one of the reasons, I think the most popular reason people didn't like it is because there was little kids running around waving, the transgender flag, saying, "Look at my flag, it's so cool, right?" Or the pride flag, and they don't know what it means. So, they're just kids. You can't go up to them and be like, "That means you're not," you can't really just tell them that and expect them either to, know what you're talking about or just care at all at some point. They're kids. But I think they just mostly hated this update because most people didn't like Pride because I don't even know why they don't like the update. It's just I've done a lot of researching and apparently this is one of the most disliked ones. So I didn't really care too much, but on to another one of Gorilla Tag's best updates according to the community. The beach update. Due to its, I guess, insignificant, I don't know, okay? I've done a lot of researching once again, and this is what most people tend to be saying. The beach update. Most people say that they like it because the long-awaited Secret Tunnel is out, which means beach update was loved because Secret Tunnel was finally added to the game. The long-awaited Secret Tunnel that people have been waiting for since late 2021, late 2022. I can't remember, guys. And this just made people's whole entire Gorilla Tag experience 10 times better. Due to opening beach, adding swimming mechanics, it opened a whole new dimension for learning. Christmas 2023. Thanks to the festive, I guess you could call it festive, the festive freaking cosmetics and all the freaking, what is it called? What is it called when you decorations all the way around the map. And also, since that thing over there to the second floor made it 3 times easier to get up to second floor, and there was also tons of cosmetics and decorations up there. So you can see why this is the most loved. But you can't say the same for this next update. The mountains revamp. Most people didn't like this because the new routes in mountains were not as enjoyable as the old ones. Personally, I think it was fine, okay? Gorilla Tag can do what they want. But since people didn't like the new revamp, the update got a lot of hate. And I personally don't care, but lots of people tended to. But to a better update, 4, and you have to be one of the most, an OG player to remember this, but the city map update. It introduced tons of cosmetics and different ways to, show off your love for the game. My first ever cosmetic was the bug hat, the little fly hat. I'll put it up on the screen. 2022 spring cleaning, I'm pretty sure. But personally, that was my favorite. And that was my favorite for a while. Then, Golden Hat was added. I don't even think it was that long after, really. I just started playing with the Golden Hat, and I loved it. And, I still have it till today. The only reason I actually bought the Golden Hat was because it costed a lot, and I thought it was never going to come back, and it had a really cool texture back then. Slippery Wall is apparently a hated update. I once again went and asked the community because I was running out of maps and freaking updates or whatever, and they said that Slippery Walls was what they didn't like. Personally, I don't see a problem with slippery walls. Lemming wanted people to stop getting out of the map, especially since the less skilled players couldn't do it. And then, when they added slippery walls, it still wasn't way too hard to get out the map, and then they added red walls. But red walls and slippery walls really weren't too far apart, so, But people seem to criticize it because nobody liked the fact that couldn't get out the map anymore. Even though there was many other ways to get out the map way after that, they just didn't feel like they were good, apparently. They just said that they didn't feel that they were good having to use glitches to get out the map. I personally don't have a problem with slippery walls being added, because I probably wouldn't be able to get out the map anyways. And then they added an air thing anyways. So even if you wanted to like jump out the map, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but But you can't even crawl anywhere either, so if you get to like, what's it called? If you get to, what's it called? Tutorial, then you could still like do this and then like drop down into the forest. You could still do a lot with that. So yeah, got criticized a lot. I don't see a problem with it though, so no.